has announced a 90-day pause for countries hit by higher U.S. tariffs, but a trade war with China has escalated.
Somebody had to do what we did, and I did a 90-day pause for the people that didn't retaliate, because I told them if you retaliate, we're going to double it. And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate.
In a dramatic change of policy, just hours after levies against roughly 60 of America's trading partners kicked in, Trump said he was authorizing a universal, lowered reciprocal tariff of 10% as negotiations continued. Just when it seemed the world's trade landscape was bracing for a new era of tariffs, a dramatic twist unfolded in Washington. Trump raised tariffs on Chinese goods to 125%, accusing Beijing of lack of respect after it announced retaliatory tariffs of 84% on U.S. imports. This followed his earlier announcement of a 10% baseline tariff on all imports and higher rates for what he termed the worst offenders, including the EU, Vietnam, and Africa. With tariffs ranging from 11% to over 100%, this led to significant market turmoil, resulting in trillions in losses and concerns about rising prices and a potential recession. Before Trump announced a suspension of higher tariffs on non-Chinese goods, U.S. government interest rates spiked to 4.5%, the highest since February. Hours later, after the change was announced, U.S. shares surged, with the S&P 500 jumping and the Dow Jones rising 7.8%. Trump revealed on Truth Social that he was implementing a 90-day pause on tariffs for countries that had not retaliated. However, he stated that an additional tariff on China would take effect immediately, insisting that the U.S. would no longer tolerate being ripped off. U.S. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent claimed the policy shift was not due to global market declines, while Democrat Chuck Schumer argued it showed Trump was reeling and retreating. Trump explained the tariff amendments were necessary because people were getting yippy.
Well, I thought that people were jumping a little bit out of line. They were getting yippy, you know? They were getting a little bit yippy, a little bit afraid.
And expressed optimism that a deal with Chinese President Xi Jinping was on the horizon. In the UK, unaffected by these changes, a No-10 spokeswoman emphasized that
trade war with the US would be in no one's interests. The negotiations that have been taking place.
The ongoing standoff between China and the US, the world's two biggest economies, began when Trump announced new tariffs last week. China was hit with an additional 34% tariff on top of a 20% levy the president had put in place earlier this year. However, Beijing was quick to retaliate with a 34% tariff on U.S. imports to China. In response, Trump threatened an additional 50%, bringing the total to 104% on Tuesday if Beijing did not back down. China did not change course and said it would fight to the end